describe that as doing things off the cuff, where it's like, okay, they have some clues about our usual stuff, so we're going to mix it up and do X, Y, and Z, and that kind of thing. Well, as it is the first map of the best of 3, the team that didn't pick the map will choose the side, and we will find forZe on the T side of Inferno, Endpoint on the CT side. So let's see what the UK-based team, I think I can say, it's not all from the UK, as you can see Robin is from international waters. Let's see what they have to offer us for today. We saw some fun things from them on Overpass previously. If we get there, then maybe we'll see some more. But for the meantime, Thomas will be running down mid to see what's up. Flashbangs from T-Ramp won't be good enough for Thomas. Looking at his teammate 180 in the air, and he will take out a second player. So this is a good start for Endpoint. And we've seen good starts from them before, but it really is about how you finish.
I guess that would be one way to talk about this pistol round, James. That would be the very philosophical way. I, for one, would like to absolutely scream about this pistol round. What the hell was that? Thomas with the flying 180 headshot. Everyone dead in about 13 seconds. That was a complete destruction from Endpoint inflicted to forZe. They took the fight to them. They were in their faces. They shot at them in the faces. And that is a quick 1-0.
Not a bad start. But we need consistency from Endpoint. That's what I would like to see from their point of view, from the start of the map to the finish. Obviously, there's going to be some bumps in the road. And for forZe, the game has maybe just started in the second round. They've gone for the force buy, as has been the standard in this tournament thus far. Z-Power holding money for the AWP, of course. Seen some really fun forZe matches at majors. They're a great team to have on the big stage. Who knows if we'll have another major this year?
Who knows?
We'll have a major this year. All right then, charging out of the smoke. You see the cleanup will be reasonable. Flit and Z-Power trying to do some damage now. In this short position, bombs in apartments. These Tech 9s can be so dangerous. Mighty Max especially being close, has to be real careful. Somehow they get around the corner. And they could just bomb it to the B bomb site, which is slang for run. They're trying to suggest it, which would actually at least weaken the number of players on A. But Crucial's like, I'm not so sure about this. Bomb's being spotted at Boiler, and forZe made one play, and it didn't really work out for them. One kill. Endpoint will be fine with that.
I like the attitude from Endpoint so far in this game. Really not afraid to take the fight. Even when they had analyzed and completely realized that the force buy was in play, they did not shy away from any duel. They took them, even to the extent of being a little over-eager at times, but it is a good philosophy. I think it's the right mindset to have going into this game. And you talked about forZe and how they can be an exciting team to watch on the big stage, and I agree with you. But at the same time, that's why I'm getting frustrated about them. That's why I'm being a bit harsh sometimes, because we know what they can do. And they should be playing at a higher level than this. No disrespect to Endpoint at all, but we have seen forZe put very, very high, very top teams to shame.
The online era, as they say. Okay, we've still got some damage to be done by this forZe team, and that is very unusual action. They're going to probably get a bomb plant out of this, although the bomb is actually quite delayed. Stuck behind the Molotov, and there are more to dance around, so this has bought a lot of time for Endpoint to make their way towards this B bomb site. They could potentially even bounce an incendiary to stop the bomb from being planted default, but Robin will hold on to it for now. And it seems he will make his exit from this round, or no? I mean, at this point, do they just throw the good money after the bad? How bizarre. And this is what I said. I was looking for consistency from Endpoint, and it's not about how you start, because there's so many rounds after that, and they've got an early bump in the road. But this will be a good test for them as well. I feel like they're an underdog versus what we've seen forZe are capable of. You hear me referring to the majors and so on, which is why I'm focusing on what I'd like to see from Endpoint in this series.
Absolutely. I do feel like Endpoint underestimated the purchase coming out of forZe in this round. They probably realized the round before that it was a force buy, so your instinct would be to think that it is now an anti-eco. Let's have some fun. There's going to be a couple of Glocks, maybe a P250 here and there. but they quickly and awfully realized their mistakes when they started fighting for banana, and then the sound of these Kevlars, Tech9s, and even an AK in the mix started roaring and took them by surprise. So forZe with the very, very aggressive purchase, and it pays off 2-1.
FunSpark straight back. Crucius on the AWP. Mighty Max rotating back to the A-bomb site. Diorp is here. The scope has been heard. Oh, he spotted him, but not fast enough. That was a disgusting peek from Z-Power. And he'll be happy to take that AWP.
Oh, God.
Flying Mac 10s as well. This is going to destroy the money of Endpoint. AWP will save Z-Power a ton of money, and there's only one player on B in Mighty Max, whereas the other two are like, I think we've lost this one, lads. Thomas only has a Desert Eagle, but I don't think he's going to be retrieving a weapon anytime soon. Simple outmaneuvering. That's 2 for 2 on Banana, where they've been absolutely shut down. Again, forZe are in such a position where they knew exactly what AWP was. The crouch peek was grotesque if you're an Endpoint player, but fantastic for forZe. Great response. They had enough information to punish, and they did.
Yeah, the utility usage coming out of forZe was also really great. Both Surreal and Crystal were softened up big time before they even entered the danger zone. The nades, I believe, towards Swimming Pool did a ton of damage, at least 80 on both players combined. So good job by forZe. It's going to be key, and it always is key. And I know people must be so tired of us talking about the banana battle, but it always is like that about Inferno. But in the meantime, we see forZe actually trying to go for more. They want more, not only the round, but they want to take the weapons away from Endpoint. Just be careful about it. The positions have been safely protected, and Endpoint will be able to keep these weapons going into the next round. But as I was mentioning, it can define almost the entirety of the first half who actually wins the battle for banana, who claims dominance, who assert dominance on this area, and then can play off of it or not. When you're on the T side and you know that you can have banana, it opens up so many tactical possibilities. Like, it's an endless world of ideas that you can run through. If you can fake B, pop A out of A apps, or fake A, actually explode B, or just do a B execute, all these strategies are possible because you can win banana at the early stages of the round without dedicating 500 millions utility. So good on forZe. So far they're winning the battle. Let's see if it continues for the rest of this first half.
See a big stack top mid from Endpoint. They have one flash on Thomas, which may come into play later on, but for now, forZe are clearing banana. Now, with nothing seen on banana and no response to come from their grenades, what will they read of the situation? They have Jerry on the MP9, so he can simply go in and find out. He is expendable. Put it down to science. He is the one-man walking research facility. He's the marine biologist. There is a fountain there after all. And up he goes, carrying the bomb at present. But still walking in forZe and seeing not much of anything, so they've made the right play. Nice and simple, and there's another round where Endpoint will be on one end of the map and forZe will be on the other. But it makes sense. Maybe the pistols will spread out to try to pick something up. Thomas is basically got $2,000 on him, despite having only a deagle, so he would need to think about whether or not he wants to actually try and hunt for a gun. But if you just got a USP, no Kevlar, then you might as well. But you could also be the early warning system and help protect the weapons they have, which forZe might hunt for. And it seems they will go for the latter. Just try to use their numbers to hold on to these weapons one way or another, bring them into the next rounds. You can see them all defending the A-bomb site now. So you don't want to get too aggressive and give up some rifles, take some rifles away. So there's Thomas, he loses his $2,000. But they do save the 2 M4s. So in that respect, it was worth it.
3-2 scoreline, round number 6 now. What's the move for Endpoint? I think I would like them to completely burst open banana this round and explain to forZe that this is not going to be like that the whole half. Just maybe dedicate 4 people towards B. We've seen teams do that, so they have the second wave of utilities. Endpoint will actually decide to dedicate only 3 players towards banana. But fight for it. Go ahead. Use your nades, use your Molotov. Make sure that you own the place. We see the carpet of fire, as you like to call it on your minimap. It's red all across the board. forZe also using some utilities, but once more, Banana is the fight. I feel like Endpoint are giving it away just a little bit.
Well, false sense of security maybe. That's a very nice grenade deployed by Surreal. And there's more as well. Considering multiple different options, it seems, with the incendiary almost coming out. But the smoke at the half wall will be good for now. And we can see there is a potential pop flash play once the smoke is gone. This could spell trouble for forZe. Surreal ahead of the sandbags. Here we go. Where's the flashbang? There we go. There's a swing, but Jerry's up close with the MP9. He'll get traded by Robin, but there are more T's to come, and the numbers will go in their favor. They know there was a player on the site who threw a flash. In the meantime, Flitz crept through the smoke, and Crucial was in the smoke at the time, so he's going for a flank, and they've got no idea. Now, we've got two flanks on either side going on, but which one's going to be more potent? Soon the bomb will be spotted if Crucial's patient enough. Okay, there's the bomb down Banana. Oh dear, oh dear. And that's forcing Flit to rotate back from CT spawn to the other side of that smoke. So this could still work out for forZe. He'll see the arse and that'll be enough. Mighty Max on the B bomb site. Not sure if they detected that, but it seems that they have. Bomb rotating immediately towards A. So both flanks work. Maybe forZe's second flank is going to be top trumps. There's 12 seconds to plant the bomb. He'll have no issue getting there. Mighty Max now making his way through the arch position. He's got a defuse kit. And half health. What a bizarre round. No shortage of weird rounds here at FunSpark ULTI qualifiers. And I'm sure there's more to come. Let's see if he's able to clutch this Mighty Max. Well, he's halfway there. Got to find a second player. Looking for it. You can see Flit wasn't in a corner, just in a little bit more open. Catch him by surprise.
I want to commend Flit for his reaction during that clutch, because granted, this was a very, very weird scenario. One that is almost impossible to talk through or, you know, have in theory know how you should react. It's been a flank on flank. Two players completely crossed each other in the smoke. But when Flit realizes the situation, instead of pushing his advantage towards the B-bomb side, he falls back, doubles back to be lurking on the lurker, to be able to open up the side of the map for a retreat for his teammates. So very good reaction coming in from Flit, very clever as well. Good understanding of the round, good understanding of where the solution is. FaceCrad deploying the smoke as well made a great difference. Otherwise, Crucial would have had the line of sight on the bomb forever. But you're right, we had a fair amount of silly rounds today and in the past few days.
Turns out to be a difficult start after an explosive pistol round. Endpoint are struggling. That buy wasn't a full buy. They had a FAMAS and no AWP. It's been a bumpy road for them. I don't know what that smoke was, but it took forever to land. Never heard so many bounces. Ah, it's the lurk smoke. Allows you to look towards the site, as you can see. Nice. Plenty of options. Allows Flit to clear the short position, at least based on these positions of the CTs. Crucial up close. He'll get one kill at the very least. Got a second to reload as players we lost elsewhere. Z-Power now trying to protect that AK on the floor. See him disposing of it quickly. Very smart stuff. And we can see the endpoint of being contained. Jerry still by the tree on Banana. Z-Power holding long. There's a search for that rifle. Just missed a shot there, but there was no connection. And forZe will move to 5. Again, this was the pick of forZe, starting on the T side.
Do you think it would be accurate or it would be relevant to say that the metric by which we can judge this game and the probability of the result is actually forZe's level and forZe's shape? I feel like if they show up and give 100% and they show us the almighty force that we know can happen, then Endpoint would be surpassed in almost any category in Counter-Strike, in almost any dimensions or characteristic I can think of. But if forZe allow Endpoint to fight back, then that's going to be a game.
I would say it should be like that because forZe have much more experience playing high levels of Counter-Strike, being punished for more. You know, they should have a better vision of Counter-Strike based on their experience and the pressure they've been under, their performances at majors, performance in Berlin. But let's see. Another take of Banana, plenty of grenades to be exchanged. 2 smoke grenades near the bottom, and a HG start to stream in once again. Not as much damage on this occasion. Crucial's finally on the AWP once more. You can see him playing that short position. So again, once top mid has been compromised, we may see him go for a peek like this, should he stay in this position. 4 towards A at present. Mighty Max ready to rotate if needed. surreal will be left alone on the B bomb site. He's got a smoke in tow. And those few shots in the swing top mid will encourage Endpoint to keep 4 players in this position. Now, we've got Flit in the apartments, and again, Crucial will have to be aware of that angle. Mighty Max keeping on Speedway, but looks like Endpoint may be considering some aggression with Crucial moving forward on the long area as Short is compromised. Sub 1 minute mark, and forZe are putting their heavy push into this A bomb site. Robin dancing around a smoke behind double stack. We've got Crucial top mid now with the AWP. 2 players defending on the site, but look at the swing coming out of apartments as well. Falling into defensive positions as they know the reinforcements are coming through. Bomb dropped on the site. The numbers game is going back and forth. 2-on-2. Now it's 1-on-1. 1-on-none. Look at all those kills. In a matter of seconds, AWP rescued. Frag after frag. Very fast action on A.
Yeah, great stack coming out of Endpoint. They had read the situation quite clearly and quite correctly as well. I was going to say, it's a bit risky from Endpoint to leave only 1 player handling the B bomb site, being defensive at that. He was CT spawn handling the B bomb site alone. So they made a risky choice, but it completely paid off. It was the A bomb site that was going to be under attack by forZe. And Robin hiding on the box did make the difference. We had pretty much 9 kills, 9 deaths happening in I don't know, 50 square meters. So it was a hectic A execute.
Yeah, it really was, and Endpoint will change the pace on Banana, taking it aggressively immediately, then having their third go back towards A. Thomas in the apartments, got some sound cues with his UMP. Damage fall-off is pretty significant with that weapon, so up close and personal can be good, although the fire rate is not the best. Robin moving around on Speedway as once again surreal is alone towards B. That's his final piece of utility. Forces the angle away, shows some presence. Z-Power still goes fishing. Plenty of time for forZe, so they won't be too concerned. This is all usual stuff. Thomas still in the apartments though. He's got Crucial on the other side, I do believe. Yeah, so the 2-man play in the apartments. AWP is here as well. And there's the aggressive play paying off. But look at the instant response from forZe. They're basically looking to rush the B bomb site. I think they read that with that aggression in apartments, there's got to be more than 1 player there for the rifle support, which means there's probably 1 player on B, which would be correct, although Robin's already made his way back. He was just hovering essentially in CT spawn. Mighty Max is by the well, but he's got no flash for the players on the side. Surreal swinging, trying to catch a cheeky one. Need to play off of each other where they can now, but look at the numbers game from forZe. Despite that, there's a man disadvantage. Everybody's here now. Crucial with the AWP, and look at those push. Look at that push. With only 1 player able to defend while the bomb's being planted, 3-man swing from Endpoint will be enough. They'll survive with more players in the round prior, which is also important.
Yeah, very, very good round from Endpoint. It all started with Crucial finding finally an open kill for his team. He's going to need to put them in such favorable positions later on in this game, but then the rotation was also quite on point. We could see the Molotov land exactly when needed to be in the swimming pool, protecting Surreal, giving him 5, 6, 7 seconds more of security when the rest of the backer was actually making his way towards the B-bomb site. So, Endpoint, they played the long game. They accepted, they gave up Banana at some point. Surreal played back, but they had all the rotations and all the pieces they needed to survive it. Surreal will be under a little bit of pressure, but Crucial is here to help him. Another open kill for the AWP.
Alright, we've got plenty of carnage on Banana, and the fight continues as Crucial's looking for more. forZe falling back a little on Banana as Flit opens up the A-bomb site. Thomas is looking to do what he can, but already we've got a player in Archie's. Knows it could be possible, but the peak is so perfect from Flit. And now Endpoint have lost all position. That was outstanding.
It's Dunzo. It's Dunzo. It's all about keeping your weapons now. Crucial has been having a lot of impact with the AWP, so there is no discussion whatsoever. He needs to hold on to it. Good on the Flit, finding the timing towards A long. That's also one of the consequences of having such a mayhem towards Banana. You cannot hold the entire map. There are going to be holes. There are going to be weaknesses in the defense when you're forced to dedicate so many players towards B, and Flit took it perfectly. Mighty Max will dispatch of the Z Power. I don't know if Z Power had an AWP. Maybe Almazer would like to just save it then. Not exactly sure. Another kill coming out of Crucial. Yes, there you have it. If I were you, I would just keep that AWP. That is the more sensible choice.
Okay. Endpoint can still get an okay score out of this half. And maybe the AWP will be helpful.
Synapsy having really a great game.
Yeah, he's having a great game on Inferno.
I mean, we talked about how good he was, so we just decided that he was so good in the last game. Just in case you forgot, have a little bit more.
Z Power looking for a very aggressive line, and he gets it. Crucial's had trouble being as effective as he might like versus the likes of forZe so far in this game with Inferno. Endpoint with better results in the head-to-head of late. They've got quite a fair amount of map wins over forZe. But again, on paper, you'd expect more from forZe. And they're delivering so far on this T side, I would say. Robin's picked up the AWP. That was lost by Crucial earlier on. He's alone on the A-bomb site, and no one is really taking interest in it at present. Only pistols remain for Endpoint on the B-bomb site. So many of these rounds have ended with them saving somewhere. And this may be another one. The grenade starts to stream in. Surreal will respond with a smoke of his own that perhaps they could play behind. And that might slow forZe down. Plenty of spray behind that smoke, but they'll just wait for it, it seems. Not even going to bother rotating. But speaking of rotations, the AWP is now on the B-bomb site for Robin. They fully committed to this. If he can get an opening kill, then maybe the rest of them can capitalize on the mayhem. So far, so good. Thomas with a CZ kill. Surreal's down in the meantime. Robin keeps delivering with AWP. Big elevation now. 33 seconds. There's still time for forZe to fix this. Trying to do what he can, but it's so awkward for all concerned. And that was an advantage for forZe. They will survive all too.
It got dangerous. Just a little bit. Just a little bit uneasy and uncomfortable on my chair watching this 5v3 unfold. Endpoint had all the eggs in the same basket, and Robin did his best to win the round. Now I'm looking at the financial situation. Crucial. There's a lack of utility for him. Other than that, it's pretty clean and nice on the side of Endpoint. They have the smokes, they have the Molotovs. They can play pretty much whatever tactic and setup they want to. forZe will keep on pressuring their advantage towards Banana. We are yet to see Endpoint completely clearing out Banana. We haven't seen it quite yet. Look at the damage again, James. 25 HP on Surreal. Oh, good answer onto Jerry, though.
Also very interested in this Banana. Z Power creeps like a crocodile in a swamp. I don't really care, to be honest. 3 players spotted on Banana. That's a lot of crucial information. No pun intended.
Look at the radar. There you have it. Here comes the flank.
Yeah, Flit is on the way. He has passed almost undetected. Robin's actually looking like he's going to check for something, so he was considering the option. That awareness is fantastic. Just as forZe start to stream in grenades to the B-bomb site. But look at the fake now. Look at his full rotation. Almazer is going to just sell the whole thing. But Thomas is wondering instantly. He's like, hold on a second. Our vision's obscured, but no. The continued utility. Look at it back and forth on the radar before I can even get the sentences out. They're going in all directions. Almazer's been swatted and back to A, 2 of the players go as we've got a 2v2 on the B-bomb site. Surreal rotating back once again. 20 seconds now as they look for the entries. Swinging through the smoke. That is absolutely crazy. And you still got Robin at the back of the site. And now Z-Power's turn to try and save the AWP.
That fake could have really worked for forZe. But I don't even know if Thomas has realized what happened. But when he was about to leave the A-bomb side and go towards B, which, by the way, by my book, would have been a mistake. If you're the last man on the bomb side, you never leave it until you see the bomb. But when he was about to, I think he just had his conscience talking to him, say, hey, by the way, I think you should throw that Molotov down middle, just to be sure. And he threw a Molotov down mid, and it completely changed forZe's mind. Maybe they interpreted that Molotov as a, we know exactly what you're doing, and we are ready for you. But it wasn't the case at all. Thomas just threw a molly and started running towards B, and forZe changed their mind. So a little bit of misfortunate events, if you're on the forZe's camp, obviously. But a back and forth game, exactly what we expected. 7-5 now. forZe with the ability to buy. It's going to be a little bit weak.
Looking forward to seeing what Endpoint have to offer once they move to the T side. How it will differ from what we've seen here from forZe. Timeout will soon be elapsed, and there we go. Time to get back into the action. Sniper rifles on both sides. Z-Power's doing a reasonable job of keeping up with his teammates despite being on the T side with the AWP. Spoken about the difficulties of that earlier on. Got Robin and Crucial with 9 kills at present. Top of the scoreboard. 3-2 set up from Endpoint. We have seen 3 players sometimes towards that B bomb site, and in the previous Inferno sometimes we saw 4, but 2 will be enough for now as they deploy their grenades. A very fast smoke at the bottom of Banana, and that will slow forZe down in that respect. Flit holding the right eye peak angle in the apps. He'll be patient as he's got nobody to hop into balcony, so they could trade for each other. Oh my days!
That was fast.
I can't believe that. Sniper versus sniper into the angle. Z-Power is looking piping hot with the AWP. That's got to be frustrating for Crucial. Just stood there and got blasted. I don't think he had time to even register he was there.
Well, I barely had time, so I'm not exactly sure how Crucial must feel about that peak.
One minute on the clock. Very testing game so far for Endpoint. 2 rounds behind, and forZe are giving them very minimal sound cues. With Flit lurking towards A, they will just check the close points on Banana. With not much time on the clock, we can see Mighty Max on Banana is going to be behind the sandbags. Now, Israel going to bait for him. Are they going to swing together? They've got to get some kills from it. They'll get 2 so far. 2 for 1's pretty good. 28 seconds on the clock. We've got Thomas making his way towards B as well. Mighty Max, though, down to 5 bullets. But he really is stopping them from making it to the site. I think in that case, he did the best you could expect for. Thomas looking to hide in plain sight as forZe. Are they going to try and gauntlet run to the A bomb site with 12 seconds on the clock with the bomb bottom mid? It seems that's the case. Gambling that everybody's towards the B bomb site, but no, that's such a massive frag from Flit. He's a huge problem for Endpoint.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, James. I wasn't talking because since I cannot trust this HUD.
Endpoint won the round.
Yeah, they had no time. I wasn't gonna say it because I've been tippy tapping around this HUD and our timer because I know there's a second difference. But this looked to be really, really too tight of a rotation coming out of forZe. So Endpoint are kind of gifted that round when forZe had all the cards in their hands.
Yeah,
maybe second guessing themselves. Yeah. I doubt it, but at the same time, I've been wrong so many times in the span of 3 days that I was just going to remain silent.
After Flit got that kill, I just completely forgot about the clock. And again, the HUD has a delay on it. So it doesn't always tell the whole story. So yeah, it's a little challenge with this setup. Moving into the last rounds of the first half. Big gamble from forZe. But they're still better equipped. Kind of. I mean, they have an AWP. They've got 2 guys on Tech 9s, which to be honest is still pretty good. Oh, Z-Power, that's going to be so costly. I mean, you turn around, you can see how many flames there are in front of you. You might as well make a play. That was a great molly. There was no good option there. And Face Crack will have the sniper rifle. That's a great. Endpoint trying to figure out a flash to help Mighty Max. Pulls out the grenade and will be exposed. That leaves Surreal on a tough spot. Gambles must be taken again. Their advantage now gone. Wherever forZe choose to go, there's a fair chance of a 4 versus 2 situation, which they must be aware of. Now, the bomb's being thrown on the floor as opposed to a teammate. That can be heard by people if they were playing deep beat. But indeed, it will be a 4 versus 2. More Molotovs as Jerry's just trying to make space for his teammates, but Endpoint getting 2 kills out of that's pretty reasonable. They've made it a 2 versus 2 for the retake. They both have kits, and they're both on the side already! How on earth has he found that? Flitz has got 7 seconds to find both these players. The bomb plant's not happening, that's for sure. He's halfway there, but where's the last one? Does he realize how much time there is? Just looking for a peek on Banana, and it will be too late. 2 timeout victories in a row. This is very bizarre.
It is extremely, extremely bizarre. Jerry had done his best, really tried his best to create some space for forZe, and not only did he find the kill early on Banana when they were redirecting the game, but then he was jumping like a madman in front of everyone to create space, to take the crossers away from his teammates. Almazer then did a great job at cleaning up the bomb site, but Robin finding the kill through the smoke was the nail in the coffin for forZe. Unfortunately, 7-7 now. Endpoint, I think they did a great job at stabilizing. Because for a moment it looked like forZe were just gonna run away with it. They would completely asphyxiate Endpoint, but actually they've held their ground. You know, they've held their ground. They've remained calm. They've saved the weapons when they needed to, and now it's actually forZe who are out of options. forZe losing 2 rounds in a row due to the timer. It's never a good sign.
Burst from the balcony. Use of the pistols. Short player has been eliminated. Thomas still on the balcony of the UMP, trying to jiggle, but he can only do so much. We've got Mighty Max quickly at the top of mid. Oh my god, look at the push. Look at the aggression from Jerry. He's an absolute beast. Picks up the AWP, looking for the flicks as well. They know exactly where Mighty Max is, so it goes from bad to worse. He's only got the MP9, and Flit, of course, will finish him off. That was a great half from Flit, I feel like. Really got some big impact frags in that round,
absolutely.
in that half.
I really agree with you. Flit's timings have been tremendous, quite honestly, and the way he used his positions, really, really great. But I think we need to address Jerry's case for a little bit. He is the definition of an X factor, I feel like. Like, he's the guy that in any game from forZe, I would never be surprised to see end up in a weird position, an unsuspected position. Here, just jumping at 2 opponents with a Tech 9, finding 2 kills in the library, you'd say there's no way it happens. There's no way he can pull it off, but he will. And it was the same Banana the round before. He opened up things up with the Tech 9. That man has no fear. He has no fear, no limit, no barrier whatsoever.
Yeah, Jerry he's a legend.
He's wild.
He really is. How can you not be a fan of Jerry? Well, we switch sides now. Ignore the top. There we go. That's fixed as well. And now, yeah, I'm interested to see what Endpoints are able to do. Both teams very aggressive on Banana in the first half. I do wonder if it will continue in the second, but that's for the buy rounds. First comes the pistol. And not much has been spent just yet. I want to see what kind of buy we'll see from Endpoint. Grenades, pistols, P250s, of course. I think these days it might be worth Tech 9 as well, especially on Inferno. But just because of the moving accuracy, you know. I mean, it's not hard to cancel straight from one tap of a P250. But I feel like with the current state of the Tech 9, that does bring a new dynamic into play. The problem is it does have kind of awful range for a one tap in comparison to the P250. So maybe best saved for a round with helmets.
Yeah, I have a pretty negative opinion about the Tech 9, but I know that I might be wrong. I know that I'm biased in the negative towards that weapon. I really don't see many scenario in which it trumps P250 or any other gun, really. The spray, I think, is really hard to control. I feel like this is a weapon over which you can completely lose control when you start shooting. Like, to me, it's like a wild animal that I cannot really tame. That's my relationship with the Tech 9.
If you compare the numerical stats versus the CZ, it's outrageous.
As in way better?
Yeah, it's way better.
Oh, interesting.
Way better than the CZ. It's crazy. It's kind of OP right now, but we just haven't found it yet.
Well,
wide scale.
First. James Bardolph giving you the tips.
I know the numbers. I love me some numbers. Okay, a very quiet pistol round. Sounds of birds as Endpoint make their way towards Banana. 5 versus 1 on B, but Jerry's on B. So you never know, he might even win. So far, so good. Straight through the smoke, he'll deliver the first kill and look to hold on to Ruins. A CZ on a pistol, so good if you're expecting a rush. It can be very, very useful indeed. It's real elevated with the P250. And everything slows down for a bit. There are plenty of forZe legs, though, towards CT spawn. That's a great tap. Wow. Just taking the game into his own hands. That'll be useful, as now only Flit remains. He's been a thorn in the side on T side for Endpoint. They'll look to return the favor. They'll have to wait, though, because Flit's threatening to clutch it. They don't give up the kills so easily. Just hide and they'll pretty much win the round. Mighty Max pops out of a great time. And Endpoint win the pistol.
And a great hold by Surreal. You're right, the elevated position with the P250 makes it so hard to check. You can see on face crack, you can almost read it in his eyes that he's not ready to check that angle. This is not an angle where your crosshair would naturally be when you go around the corner. Your reflex would be to aim at your level, and you'd be ready to fight someone that would be in front of you. So the elevated position, absolutely beautiful. And then going in for the second kill, not only knowing that there's another opponent, but the right peak, very clear, very precise. A great, great job from Surreal. Endpoint now tied 8-8.
And again, those 4 spies keep on coming in the second round. Doesn't matter who's losing, what map, what team. Everyone's in for the 4 spies. An exchange of grenades. Some HEs, some smokes. And there's a molly as well. As Surreal looks to not only clear the apartments, but avoids a multi-peak. Those deagles are like £200. Stat track ones. Kind of crazy.
For a second, I thought you were talking about the actual price of a gun in real life. I was like, okay, that is interesting. I did not know that.
Well, we're going to see an explosion. And there'll be a lot of Crimson with it. Jerry still with the CZ. Good for 1. He's got teammates to help clean up. But it's them who are supposed to be getting cleaned up here. This is becoming dangerous for Endpoint. I love a burst of a CZ, but I'm sure Endpoint don't right now. Mighty Max 1 versus 3. A jump throw smoke to isolate some fights. Got to swing with the Mac 10. It's a good weapon for the job, but he needs to avoid the range of short here. He spotted 1 player looking for the swing. Completely blind. He knows where 2 of these 3 players is now. Playing it really well. 20 seconds. Some footsteps from upper. He can actually look to plant the bomb on the other side of double stack. 16 seconds remain, and he needs to use this time wisely. That bomb plant must come through, but he'll lose a duel to the scout. Very unlucky. Got a few bullets off there, but the Mac 10 is inaccurate.
A great attempt by Mighty Max, nevertheless. I really like the way he was trying to move, trying to single out all these 1v1s, peeking angles, baiting shots, baiting peaks, using then the flash. That was really close. 37 HP on face crack, 8 on the last opponent. Oh my, oh my. But by the way, I think we need to talk about Flit's damage. He had assist on almost every kill in that round. He did a tremendous amount of damage, even though the kills were not awarded to his person. So forZe answering back after losing the pistol round, now forcing Endpoint into a situation of financial disarray, who will decide to buy again. forZe versus forZe versus forZe.
Who's going to get that consecutive round? I should put a stop to the nonsense. Z-Power now with an AWP pretty damn early. It's the real creeping around A. Endpoint mostly on Banana. Edging towards the B-bomb site. And Jerry, of course, is here with the Mac 10. There'll be a team kill, actually, for Endpoint. Now, Mesa trying to hide at the back of the site, trying to buy time for himself. That's a really important kill. There might be some utility on the way, but it won't come fast enough if there was. AWP shots. That was a pretty close one, to be honest. Oh, that's such a Flit. He's still on the A-bomb site looking for that lurker. They just can't get rid of Flit.
It's so outrageous. If you're Surreal, you must be so pissed right now. So infuriated. Why is he picking me long right now? But Flit completely has the map on lockdown. He has the map in his own mind. Like, he knows the entire Inferno layout, and he knows where you can be and when you can be there. Again, we see the game sense coming out of Flit, but then we need to talk about Amizer doing a hell of a job from the triple box 2.8 kills basically, even inflicted a lot of damage onto the last one. He was completely alone. If Almazer falls without a kill, that is it. The round is donezo, and the force buy would have been Endpoint. So good on him to react. A little bit of a warning shot coming out of his power. That's 2 pairs of legs, 2 sets of legs that are down now.
Yeah, and there's some HEs to follow up, which will at least do it on Crucial. This is the pick of forZe. For those of you wondering, Endpoint going for Dust 2, a UK special. And some target practice in this round is briefly in, briefly out. Love to see it. Fast eco round, on to the next one.
Okay. On to the next one, indeed. Look at the weaponries for forZe. And the reason I mention that is that if they were to win this round, they would be in such a financial paradise. They would have all the control in the world, all the money in the world, 2 MP9s, they even have 2 FAMAS. There's no M4. There's literally no M4 for the first gun round for forZe.
I bet they don't care either. Especially with, just with a team led by Jerry. They'd be perfectly happy with the MP9. forZe remain with 3 players towards B. Anti-flash top mid in case of a swing through the smoke. Seems to be very expectant of that. Not the first time we've seen him at that position. Might be specific to this matchup. Bomb left in a position where it can rotate in either direction. Now, will we see the full retake top banana? Indeed, the smoke has been laid. Thomas trying to creep now, and of course Jerry will punish him for his insolence with the MP9. That can be collected later. And still, 57 seconds left. Still 3 players towards banana, but Endpoint now will try to cut their losses and face the A bomb site. Surreal gets taken out for free. Flip making the FAMAS look spectacular. Face Crack unable to do the same thing. Doing his best Zorro impression. Not quite working out though. And Flip on the site. Almost getting the transfer. 1 versus 2. Bomb planted for the pit. The Vino plant, as I like to call it. Maybe a slight gap in that smoke. I'm not sure. Mighty Max may stay on the site. Oh, that's a deletion. Jerry's got an upgrade. And now Mighty Max tries to deploy a HE grenade, but there's too many men. He's surrounded. They'll get the upgrades. The AKs are out now for forZe as they move to 12.
Starting to sound like a broken record, but I really like the game sense coming out of Flit and the decisions he makes and the way he was playing. Look at this, the pop flash, forcing Surreal to turn around and moving on top of the box to create an angle that is virtually impossible to peek, almost getting the 3rd kill as well. If Face Crack hadn't dropped the ball on that kill towards A long, that round would have been over in a matter of a few seconds. And it would have been a perfect round coming out of forZe. So they look strong right now. They look very solid individually. They make the right decisions. They take the best out of almost every duel that they are in. So worrisome situation for Endpoint. They're going to try and force the issue with a full rush towards B bomb side. Or actually, they wanted to, but look at the damage.
Again, forZe comfortable with 3B. Maybe it's inevitable that they will be right. And again, I'll go for that retake utility. Might as well while they're here. Flashbang this time before the smoke grenade. Mixing it up, not being predictable. That's pretty important as well. If you've got a chain of grenades, then if you do the same set every time, you could get countered. So forZe will mix it up. Still no smoke grenade. Abusing the fact that Endpoint are on pistols, perhaps. Baiting the peaks, maybe. Thomas now would like to do some damage. He's got that one-tap capability if he's close enough with the Tech 9. Not sure what climate he has around him. Inferno. Based on a location not terribly far from Los Angeles. You'd think it would be Europe, but no.
It's not Italy.
San Juan Capistrano. No drones allowed.
South California, right?
Yeah. Not far from Newport Beach. Well, nice anti-eco territory. Again, forZe mixing things up, inviting the peaks when they are to their advantage, and then punishing them for it. 22nd round, rather. 5-round lead for forZe, and Endpoint are back on the buy. Crucial on the AWP, but with no Kevlar. A naked AWP on the T side of Inferno is almost, in many cases, fairly close quarters, so this could be extremely dangerous territory for him, especially with these HEs creeping around. Very curious to see how he plays that one out. Turns out it'll be a fast one, actually, for Endpoint. Speaking of HEs, devastation towards long. It's a trade frag from Mighty Max to create some space. He's carrying the bomb as well, so he must be careful. Z Power hiding in the apartments, looking for a fast one. Misses a shot, though, still strafing. Has an angle. And Crucial will find his second kill of the round. 3 versus 2. Actually a man advantage for Endpoint. They've made it happen. We've got a flank now from none other than Jerry. Last man standing for forZe. Such a needed round for Endpoint should they win this. But one that's they are unlikely to emulate again.
It's going to be difficult. Jerry will elect to keep the AWP and save, which is the right decision in my mind. This round has Crucial written all over it. He's the actual and complete hero of that round. The work that he's done, the impact that he's had with the AWP towards the A side was absolutely magnificent. Flit, once more, the game sense, the nade, understanding what's happening, hearing the utilities around him, correctly understanding that it is an A split coming in, using the nade, a ton of damage, double spray down. He'd made such a big difference, and then Z Power missing one shot, and I'll agree to that. Z Power missed one opportunity to close the round. But it's not so easy to aim when the opponent is so close to you with the sniper.
Yeah.
So he missed that shot. The skin is actually moving so fast when you're at a close distance like that. It can be hard to aim from the back. But then Crucial, he did not miss one shot.
Well then. An important round for both teams. There's still a fair amount of money for forZe with the success they've been having in the eco rounds they've put Endpoints on. So it could be worse for them. Endpoint can't drop much more. Full play CT side, and again it's a fast one. So far so good. Almeza wasn't ready for that, wasn't ready to shoot, but eventually he will be. The trades continue in favor of Endpoint. 3-on-2 as they take the site, and Jerry's just now leaving the B bomb site, or was considering it, but in fact they'll be like, okay, hold your hands up. Endpoint have taken it. Very fast explosion from Apps. And again, they just caught forZe completely off guard. Weren't even remotely ready for a push at that timing.
No, but it seems to be a recurring theme now for Endpoint. It's ever since they picked up the pace that they've started to win rounds on their T side versus forZe. The round before that was this super quick A split execute. This one, an Apps explosion, again, very fast. So it's going to be up to Jerry to analyze and realize what the risks are, when to use utility, when to dedicate the resources at the beginning of the round. Because Endpoint are not stopping. They've realized that they can actually overrun forZe. They just need to make it quick. And it's going to be interesting to see if they stay in that perspective, or if they stay with that philosophy, or if they try and slow things down. Because I'm not sure, James, that you can win 6 rounds in a row if you maintain that 200 kilometers per hour rhythm.
Yeah. I feel like it has a shelf life. Only needs to go wrong once.
Exactly.
Now, the important thing for Endpoint is that they've really plundered the reserves of forZe, and I can't imagine forZe will have much money once this buy has been completed. Jerry, of course, of all his SMG kills, has still got almost $5,000 in the bank, if I'm reading that correctly. But apart from that, they are starting to get into ropey territory. We can see Z-Power's got some cash as well. They have saved some weapons, which will certainly help them, but they won't want to be saving anymore. And a few rounds now for Endpoint, which is great for them. After a string of 5 for forZe. Christian's got a pretty good spawn as well, so we'll see where he chooses to take it. Will he go for an aggressive angle up the middle of mid, or something more reasonable by the stairs? Let's have a look-see. I think it was Z-Power in the first half who went for a super aggressive one. Okay, he's going to banana. Jump on the logs, perhaps. Waiting the flashbang ahead of the logs. And oh my god, okay. That is a shot. Now
that was insane.
A sniper showing his value. Absolutely ridiculous. That angle was absurd, and Z-Power's trying to get one back, and he will. Anything you can do, I can do in less spectacular fashion. And with that opening kill, Endpoint quietly moving up towards Banana. A drop of a smoke, and Almeza hops back a little, trying to avoid the flashbangs, and Thomas will make an entry. Speaking of flashes, that's a team flash, and that allows Almeza to get an absolutely free kill. More flashes deployed, and this is falling to pieces for Endpoint. Crucial's in a 1 versus 3. Looks one way, shot from the other. A great start, and a bad finish.
A bad finish indeed. That shot was absolutely insane. It actually was insane. The reaction time. Then we see obviously Z-Power taking matter into his own hands. Oh yeah, that's a team flash indeed. You were right. That is so cruel to see. Still want to mention though, Almeza so far has been completely unfailable on the B-bomb side. Anytime he's been tested, he's got 2 to 3 kills. So I'm not exactly sure if this is going to discourage Endpoint from attacking the B-bomb side anymore. Almeza's been absolutely dominant. We see forZe again dedicating 3 members towards the A-bomb side. Flit will find the first kill. Where was that, down middle? Did he just white peek mid?
I thought that's what I was looking for in the previous round. Maybe full of confidence after that kill in the round prior. AWP will be lost. Maybe Surreal will pick it up. He's only on a pistol. And Jerry will be taken down on Banana. Almeza showing presence. Not wanting Endpoint to get too excited. With all that spray from the AK, they'll put the AWP in its place. I like this. I like this plan. Oh, he's completely blind and he chooses to outstay his welcome. Surely with that flash, there's going to be a push through the smoke. He took the gamble, and that's a big scalp for Endpoint. And with that, they're moving into the site. They've got a numbers advantage. This round is surely over.
Does look like it indeed. Oh, maybe this grenade will change forZe's mind. What do they have in terms of utility? We have 1 smoke on Flit and a flash onto FaceCraft. But still, I think that there's a question to be asked. Do they try and retake it or don't they? They've just been smoked once more. That's 15 seconds. They're going to use the flash to get the boost and probably get the trouble. And that's well played by FaceCraft. Now 2 versus 2.
Okay, they've both got kits and they're both making a lot of steps as well. Thomas considering the grenade, but he's got a trade track situation. Surreal though, straight before he shoots, but it's a 2-man spray down. They lined up for Thomas. They took tickets and he served them both.
Thomas just saved Endpoint here with that well-controlled spray. Double kill headshot with the second one. Surreal had missed a crucial shot, but there you have it. The spray control is on point. No pun intended. forZe will be able to have the full buy. Jerry is playing with the MP9, but as you mentioned many times, that's not a problem for him. He knows how to handle the MP9. And Endpoint, they actually do end up with the worst buy. That's insane. Endpoint, would it be... No, it's not even on purpose. They don't have the money. Because they've lost so many bodies and so many weapons in the last round, they need to play with 2 MAC-10s on Robin and Surreal.
Man, that was very much a change of fortune. The big flashbang. 1 kill's not going to be enough. Almeza's got to deliver now. He often has. Manages to survive the flash. He's still alive, and the Molotov's coming through. 2, in fact, but it is the AK to clear him out. Jerry now behind the smoke on Banana. Endpoint will expect some players to be there. There is a smoke up, so they'll have Surreal going on a recon mission towards A. He's got a MAC-10. So he can do this. Ideally, he'd probably switch weapons with Robin, but not really in a position to do that right now. So we've got the initial swing from Robin, alone with the AK-47. Now, that is quite the sacrifice. And that's going to be quickly understood by forZe that it's not going to be a B play. Oh my god, that could have been everything. The tag through the door is beautiful from Z-Power. It could have been even worse for Endpoint. Very scary stuff, but they'll take bold decisions. Bomb planted safe. That's not the greatest post plant, but one of the safer ones.
I think they're saving their weapons, James.
Yeah,
I mean, they're calling it quick.
Moving back.
They're calling it quit. They're throwing a towel. Z-Power had taken the risk to completely abandon the A-bomb site in order to be activated if Endpoint wanted to play the B, and then it was the wrong choice. Although, if it hadn't been for that beautiful shoulder peek from Crucial, that could have been a 3v2, but It wasn't meant to be. Endpoint this time, break through Banana. 2 players falling there quite quickly. Almazer and FaceCrack did pay the ultimate price in the first 15 to 20 seconds of the round, fighting for banana control. And the 2 MAC-10s prevail. Weak buy coming out of Endpoint, but actually they make it to 12. It is now forZe who are facing financial disarray. Knowing them, I wouldn't be surprised to see them buy again, but an eco could be on the cards.
Timeout has been called. Man, these recent rounds have been really crazy.
They have.
Small margins in multiple. Now, this is, well, there could be a worse time for forZe's money to be in a really awkward spot. The money is together. We'll see what they choose to do. Maybe counting how many buys they might have if they go all in here. You can see Almazer picking up the MP9. And they've done plenty with an MP9 in this game already. Almazer and FaceCrack with the SMGs. Robin's got a very forward spawn. Maybe he'll go for a fast play up banana. Could dodge some grenades, the deeper ones. And we'll soon find out again. Inferno, the pick of forZe, the first map of this best of 3 series. We've got Dust 2 to come afterwards. So let's see if forZe can win their map pick or if there'll be an early upset. We have seen many in that regard in this tournament thus far. And indeed, Robin goes quickly up banana. Behind Molly, another team flashes. It doesn't quite go over the wall. That could have been very painful. The HE certainly will be, though. And that flashbang maybe stops them taking banana, that little error. And they'll have to quietly walk away. Now, Z-Power has the AWP. Let's not forget the outrageous things he was doing to Crucial on occasion, like that peek on long in that first half. Crucial will opt for the smoke grenade, it seems. Still 3 players for forZe on the B bomb site. Although we're seeing some activity now as Endpoint swing down long with 4 players, including the bomb. Got Surreal on the other side. Another reasonable grenade. Z-Power now hiding in plain sight in the middle of the site. You can see the push through the smoke from Flit. He's got 2, almost a third. Still a man advantage as FaceCrack swings in with that MP9. Switches for the gun immediately, not really knowing the climate on the bomb site. Goes down for free because of that. And now Surreal's got 40 seconds in a 1 versus 2. The CTs continue to swing. If he picks up a weapon, he reveals his position, but he has to. Won't get the first kill, and forZe make it to game point.
And here I come again with my Flit points. I'm feeling so self-conscious always talking about Flit, but the nade that he throws towards Mini Pit was absolutely hurtful for Endpoint. And then his move, abusing the smoke deployed by Endpoint, playing at the edge of it, and picking up the right timing to pounce through it. Again, killing 2.8 people, 2 quick kills, plus a lot of damage on the last one, allowing his teammate with the MP9 to shine. Great job by Flit. It's really been his map, to be honest. He's been my MVP so far in this game.
Yeah, the impact frags have been really awesome.
Absolutely.
He's done so many great things, shown some fantastic game sense as well. But we've seen some nice things from Endpoint also. And we will really need to in round number 28 because they need 28, 29, and 30. They're at death's door as far as the first map is concerned. 2 rifles and 3 pistols on road for Endpoint. See the swing past top mid, FaceCrack in the corner. There's plenty of support. There's a 3-man setup here on long, and they've got the bomb as well. So Endpoint maybe at the end point of Inferno. Surely they can't recover from this. You can see the bait from the AWP. The M4 is right next to them. Well, the flashbang's being deployed. He's got a hot back. It'll be 1 for 1. And again, the support's fantastic. That leaves Surreal 1 versus 3. He's got 1 minute, though. And Almazer's still going down banana, so he's got a chance. But look at the swing and the trade.
They just peek him. They just peek him. They don't care at all.
That's the forZe you want to see.
Yeah, it really is.